Good evening. I'm a few minutes late this evening. Darn my day job, it sort of gets in the way, and I was trying to wrap everything up there so we can go on a short vacation. So anyway, I'm here now, and tonight we're going to be looking at a set that is retiring. It's available under the Last Chance products on the website. And I really like this set. We actually looked at this set. I think I did a video on it a couple months ago. And we built a box. It's on the current annual catalog on pages 100 to 102. Hi, Linda. And so today, though, we're going to make some cards. I really love this paper and how bright and pretty it is. So this is the stamp set. These are the papers. They're 6x6 and such pretty colors. Night of Navy, Purple Posy, I think it's Coastal Cabana. All of a sudden it went out of my mind. Crushed Curry and Calypso Coral. And then I did bring in one other stamp set. It's a hostess set out of the current catalog called Touched My Heart. There was one of the sentiments in here I really liked. So let me put my papers away in my little storage envelope so it doesn't go all over the place, and bring in the cards we're going to work on tonight. So this is the first card. Hi, Barb. This is a very, very simple card. So let me bring in my little kit here. Nothing like not being able to be here till the last minute with everything else. Why is it when you want to go on vacation, everything gets crazy right beforehand? So this is my card base. And this is cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And I've already done the inside. And it says, fill the day with all your guilty pleasures, and just some of the stamping from the pattern set. I thought that sort of looked like some confetti or sparklers. So the front of my card, I'm going to take a piece of white, and I'm going to adhere this down. How's everybody doing this evening? Yeah, if you're in my area, woke up to snow. Okay, so we have that 4 1/4 or 4 by 5 1/4 adhered down. And then I took a piece of the DSP and I cut this purple at 3 3/4 by 5. And then I just cut a little strip of Night of Navy and just left about 1/8 of an inch sticking out there. Oh, and you know what? I should have been following my own tutorial. Shouldn't have glued that down yet. Hi, Deborah. In the tutorial, you'll build the full top piece before you adhere it down so that your ribbon goes around all 3 pieces. But I'm going to be flexible here and just put it around the purple. And there are no mistakes. There's just design opportunities. So I'm going to take this purple posy ribbon and just wrap it around my DSP. Whoop. Would help if we get it a little straight there. There we go. You can trim off the excess. Now I'll glue this down. And again, you could have glued this to the white, put the ribbon around the full as it was done on this card, or you can do it this way. Either way works. For my sentiment, I used the layering circles and I cut a scallop a little larger out of Night of Navy. And then I did the white. And I stamped, again, this little background stamp in some purple posy for a light color, and then Cue the Confetti from the stamp set in Night of Navy. And then we're just going to adhere this down on the front. And I'm bringing in the Pattern Play resin dots. And I'm going to take a couple of these small purple posy dots and just add a little embellishment. There you go. Nice and simple card. The pattern paper does all the work for you. So let's move card number 1 off to the side and bring in card number 2. This one, I stepped it up a little bit using more of the DSPs. Again, let me get my little kit here. I'm starting with that Night of Navy. I actually did the same sentiment inside. Fill the day with all the guilty pleasures. Only this time I switched the stamps that I was using to these like chevron look, and I did stamp that in crushed curry. On the front, we're going to build a couple layers. So the first one I'm going to do is, again, a piece of DSP, and this DSP is cut 4 by 5.5. Sorry, I keep sniffling. I seem to have some allergies going on. You wouldn't think with the snow out today allergies would be that bad, but okay. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us. Bill, I seem to be missing a piece of cardstock. So then I took another piece of cardstock here, and this is crushed curry, and I cut this at 2.5 by 5.25, so it's the same length as my DSP. And then I wanted some texture on it, but I wanted it to be cardstock and not DSP. So again, I brought in this chevron stamp, and I stamped it with matching color in that crushed curry, and we're going to adhere that here. See, if you don't like it the first time you stamp it, paper has 2 sides. So I'm going to put that on there. And I am missing the next piece that we need. So let me grab that and recut it. Night of Navy. For some reason, it didn't end up in my kit. So just give me a second to pull out that Night of Navy paper. Okay. Now for this piece, this white piece is cut 3.25 by 4, and I'm going to make this blue piece just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it is going to be, I'm going to do 4 1/8, and then 3 3/8. Love that little trimmer. So now, nope, I did that wrong. Say 3 3/8. Oh, I did 3 7/8. That would explain it. Measure twice, cut once. Oh, better to cut it too large than too small. All right. So we're going to adhere these together. And I did go ahead and pre-stamp these again. This one is Cue the Confetti. I just think that's really cute for a birthday card. Thank you, Jennifer. You're going to have to come visit our new place. So now here I have 4 strips of paper, and they vary in size by 1/4 of an inch. This one, they're all 3/4. This one is 2 3/4 inches long, 3 inches long, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Now, you could take these and line them up on your card as they are. I want that one there. Yeah, that's the way I want them. But I want to put a diagonal on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up with the bottom edge even, all 4 of them. And so I get the exact same cut. I'm just going to put them in my trimmer here. And there's no real math to this. I'm just going to line it up and cut from the upper, a little bit up on the right side, down to that bottom left. So I don't know if you can see that on there or not. So I have that bottom left, and then just chop them all. Now, when I lay these back out, I'm going to put the 2 end ones on first for that spacing. There we go. And one of them got turned a different way. Now I'm going to split the difference between these 2 center ones. See, I think it's still a little wet. It's a little higher than I wanted it. So I'm going to reattach that one. Drop it down a little bit from the top. There we go. And then this one. There we go. And then I brought in, again, from this suite of products, there was a ribbon pack. And so I'm just going to, again, I'm going to put this piece of ribbon around before I put this down on the card base. Just line it up wherever you like. And trim off the excess. And then I'm going to adhere this down. There we go. I think those papers, they're just so pretty and bold. And then I do have a ribbon, or a bow, I should say, made out of ribbon. And I'm going to just take that and adhere it here. I think I'll put it on this side instead of on top of the blue paper. And there you go. Just using that DSP to really bring in the simple design and then your sentiment on there. Well, hi, Tasia, the bug. The bug is my granddaughter, Emmeline. Thanks for joining us, Emmy. All right, card number 4. For my quilting friends, I think they'll like this. We're going to make a pinwheel card. These are probably my 2 favorite. Card number 3. What did I say?
4.
Oh, Bill said I said card number 4. I apologize. Card number 3. That's what I get for working over 10 hours today, right? All right, so this card, thanks, Tasia or Emmy, whichever one that is. Thanks, Linda. So this card, again, is the 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And the first layer is simply a piece of white cardstock, but I did run it through the subtle 3D embossing folder to give it a little bit of texture. So we'll go ahead and adhere this to the front of the card. Now to make this pinwheel. One of those things that sort of looks complicated, but is not. Hi, Maureen. Thank you. So to make this card is actually very simple. So stick with me here. there are 2 squares here that are cut out of Calypso coral, and they are each 2 5/8 inches by 2 5/8 inches square. And then what you do is you're going to glue them together and get them as even as you can to make this sort of like a star. So your points, I put them down on, and I don't have it in front of me. Oh, here it is. So here's what I did. I took my first square and I put it down. See, I drew the square, I traced it out. I put the first square down on there, and then I marked the next square with 2 edges, and it was half of the 2 5/8. Bill, help me remember what that was. The center of this, was it 1 and... You have to divide 2 5/8. I don't remember off the top. But anyway, then that becomes on your straight line here and here. So you can get these 2 square, because that's the hardest part of this project, is just getting this done. Then you're going to need 8 pieces that are a 1 1/4 inch square, and you want to use 2 different pattern papers, DSPs, that coordinate with each other. In this case, we decided to do the dots and the Calypso coral. No, not Calypso coral. I'm terrible. All of a sudden, the color, I lost what it was. Now I'm going to go look.
Botany Bay.
Coastal Cabana. Coastal Cabana. So how you want to start to build this is you want to pick the color you want to start with. And I'm going to start this time with the polka dots. So my first one is going to go in this upper corner, but I'm only going to glue down the left side of this. All right, so I'm just going to put glue on the left side of this one, and I'm just going to put it right here. Okay. Now we're going to go counterclockwise. My next one is going to be the Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to glue it completely down. And again, I'm going to put it, leaving just that little bit of an edge so you can see the Calypso coral behind it. And we're just going to keep in this pattern all the way around and gluing the whole thing down. Okay, now we're going to do Coastal Cabana. Going to that next point, and then the dots. Going to that next point again, Coastal Cabana. I think it just sort of looks harder than it is. So making this one, you could just surprise all your friends, right? Now for this last one, the reason you only glued down part of this is because when we put this one down, it has to slide under. Come on, Beth, tell me you did this right. Probably glued a little too much there, but I'm going to lift it up. And now when I put this one down, it needs to slide underneath that first one. So that's why you leave this up. Less is better. Yes, Linda, it is actually easier than the quilted pinwheel block. You're absolutely correct. And then you're going to go back in and make sure they're all down. Look at that. We have a paper pinwheel block. So now I'm going to take this and just adhere it to my card base. And I want that, the dots up. So we're going to put that down. And then I am going to bring in our resin dots again, which you would think would be right in front of me here. This is from that same set, and I'm going to bring in, I'm going to use the yellow because it does pop off. And then I told you I brought in this Touched by Heart, which was the Hostess set for this year. I really like that for the beautiful ways you touch my heart. So this is mounted on Calypso coral that's cut 1 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then the white is 1 inch by 4 1/4. And we're going to mount this down on the front. And there we go. And then on the inside, because I referenced You Touched My Heart out of this pattern play, there were some hearts here. So I put those along the bottom. So there you have it. This paper, like I said, it's on the retiree list, the last chance. There's just so many things you can do with it, and I just think it's so pretty and make some really cool cards. From pretty simple, a little more, you know, involved with the different layers. And then, of course, we got fancy with the paper pinwheel block. So I hope you enjoyed those cards. I always appreciate when you take time out of your evening to spend it with me and watch my videos. I'm very grateful and very blessed that I get to share something that I really enjoy doing. So thank you. I hope to see you next week. Next week is going to be a little different. My April paper pumpkin kit should be here by then. And so we're going to open that up. We will make a couple of the cards the way they say to make them. And then, as I did last week, just making something on the side without any prep work, we will make a alternative project together on the fly. It's not going to be pre-planned. So I hope you'll join me for that. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.